Explain the confusion between the Obidients Movement and the Labour Party to the Nigerian public. I think you once said that the people who are in the Obidients Movement are not necessarily in the Labour Party. The people in the Labour Party are not necessarily obedient. Now, how does the average man that you want his support or our support in 2027, how do you expect that voter to resolve that confusion?
Exactly. Now,
because Obidients has a different identity and character, different from that of the party, which some people say belongs to them.
Yeah. Now, the party itself, remember, was midwife by the Nigerian Labour Congress long before now. There have been issues, quite all right, within the party. But when most of the Obidients Movement came into the party, of course, they faced a little bit of resistance. But what we want to do, having learned from all of those lessons, is to say, look, the Obidients Movement is bigger than the Labour Party. Just like, as you rightly said, we have them in everywhere. Academicians, traders, some members of other political parties, even in the media, we have some of them. So, but what we want to do is that to ensure that we give a direction to say, look, we are moving into a political party, A or B, with this particular ideology and beliefs. Anybody does not believe in that, then they can keep away. Like His Excellency Peter Obi, who have been moving from point A to point B, trying to gain the trust of the Nigerian people. We were together with him at Anambra yesterday. It was one of the priests who even said that, sir, you made statement that you are going to come back. And you did. We were amazed. He made a statement on the 5th of August. And here he is today in November 10th, presenting them with a check. That is building of trust. So if he does that on a continuous basis, we were in Ondo, today he's going to another place. So it's a continuous building of trust. We want to reshape that particular ideological belief and the difference from the party to
In other words, correct me if I'm wrong. If the platform of the Labour Party is not available to Mr. Peter Obi ahead of the 2027 election, we could see a situation whereby the Obidients Movement will look for another special purpose vehicle, as it did in 2023. Are you certain about that? Because the people in Labour Party, they are not going to give up. The people who say they are the owners of the party, they are not going to give up. In fact, there is even one man that says he has the certificate making a Labour Party a legal entity. And if the Obidients have any such certificate, they should come and produce it. So are we likely to see Mr. Peter Obi in another party?
Politics is dynamic, but once the idea is consistent, then of course you can always find a home. So in a way, that's what I'm saying. At this particular point in time, we are members of the Labour Party, and we're still fighting to ensure that the Labour Party becomes the party that everybody will trust. But where it becomes inevitable that the Labour Party is not ready to assimilate the idea of good governance and public and accountability to the people, of course, we have to look for another opportunity where we can really trade our market.
Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, economy, and development in Nigeria and around the world. That was the National Coordinator, Obidients Movement, Dr. Yunusa Tanko. He was talking with the crew of the Arise TV about some issues that has to do with the Obidients Movement. And he said that the Obidients Movement, the Obidient is bigger than the Labour Party. And I want to also look at the exit strategy of Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, as 2027 presidential election is coming. From all indication, it is very difficult to believe now that Peter Obi will run on the Labour Party, because the Tinubu administration and the APC they are determined to destroy Labour Party to ensure that Peter Obi does not use it in 2027, and they are not going to let go. And you can see the direction that Ruben Abatis was going. He was saying that the people who claim they own Labour Party, they are not going to give way. They are not shifting ground. That is to show that Labour Party is not sustainable as a pathway for Peter Obi presidency in 2027. But never can tell whether those who want Peter Obi to remain will triumph in the end. But you can't continue to wait in a party that has such a crisis. And that was why also you saw that in the last local government election in Abia State, Zenith Labour Party was used as the purpose vehicle to contest the chairmanship election and councillorship election instead of the Labour Party because of the crisis in the party. Now, I want to address two important issues. One is that Labour Party is not as large as the Obidients Movement. In other words, that Obidients Movement is far bigger, far more impactful than the Labour Party. So the Labour Party, Peter Obi does not owe Labour Party anything. It is Labour Party that owe Peter Obi, because Peter Obi lifted them beyond their widest imagination. Peter Obi and the Obidients Movement, they are bigger, larger than the Labour Party. And I know that Abayomi Arabambi, the National Public Secretary of the Lamidia Papa-led faction of Labour Party, which is now in bed with Julius Abure. You know how they fought Julius Abure before, but now they are in bed with Julius Abure leadership of the Labour Party, which is not recognized by Peter Obi and co. Okay? But I learned that because of the court's victory they got, that they are now recognized by INEC. But the process of challenging that is also ongoing. So these people believe that they say that Peter Obi did nothing, that they were the one that rehabilitated Peter Obi by giving him a platform. But the truth remains that it is Peter Obi that provided Labour Party, gave it a lifeline. If you are in doubt, look at Labour Party. Labour Party was formed in 2002. Because Labour Party has nothing to offer, the president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Adams Oshomole, in 2007, when he was contesting for governor in Edo State, he did not use Labour Party. Why did he not use Labour Party? Because Labour Party has nothing to offer. Nobody knows Labour Party. Nobody cares about Labour Party. The national president of the Nigerian Labour Congress, Adams Oshomole, he didn't contest under Labour Party. He contested under Action Congress, because Labour Party was nowhere to be found in terms of capacity. So he contested under Action Congress, and he was defeated by the PDP. Of course, he went to court, and the court in 2008 declared him the winner of the election. But he didn't contest under Labour Party. As someone who was a former president of Nigerian Labour Congress, and probably was part of those who ensured the formation of the Labour Party as an offshoot of the Nigerian Labour Congress. So it shows you how abysmal Labour Party is. The only time Labour Party was mentioned to the national level was when Dr. Olusegun Mimiko used it to become governor in Ondo State. But Peter Obi was the person in 2023 that brought it to national limelight and made it truly a national party. If you are in doubt, look at go and check the 2019 presidential election result. The candidate of the Labour Party, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in 2019 election was Usman Mohammed. Go and check the results. You can go online and Google it. He had only 5,074 votes. One of the lowest votes for that election. But look at where Peter Obi took Labour Party. Peter Obi took Labour Party to the level that Labour Party would have won the election if INEC did not switch off the electronic transmission of that result. The so-called glitches, which Lai Mohammed now told us that it was deliberately done by INEC. Labour Party would have produced a president. That is how far Peter Obi took Labour Party. Because Labour Party was nowhere to find. In fact, in 2011, Labour Party had no presidential candidate. They had to back Jonathan. Yes. In 2015, they had no candidate. They backed Jonathan. In 2019, because Buhari has no time for them, we were not ready to patronize them. Nobody was, so they didn't endorse Buhari. Then they had a candidate, this Usman Mohammed, 2019, and they got only abysmal 5,074 votes. Now, let us look at the strategy, exit strategy of Peter Obi. Now, before I talk about that, if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. Now, when you listen to Yunus Atanko, he agreed with Ruben Abati that the Obedient Movement, if Labour Party is not ready for good governance, if Labour Party is not ready to subsume itself into good governance that the Obedient Movement wants to bring into it, then there is a very strong possibility that the Obedient Movement will use another platform to contest the presidential election in 2027. And that, to me, is the best thing for Peter Obi to do. Because right now, Tinubu's people have infiltrated Labour Party, and they are ready to mess it up to ensure that they disorganize Peter Obi. Instead of concentrating on strategy to defeat Tinubu, he will be much more concerned about whether his nomination, if he is even ever nominated in Labour Party again because of all this crisis, is real. Because the court in Nigeria has been literally an APC court now in Nigeria. So anybody going to any electoral issue in court in Nigeria is just wasting his time. Whatever the APC want is what the court is likely to rule. That's why I pity those who are encouraging PDP to go to court in Edo State. I don't see any court in Nigeria today that will go against APC. Okay, that is why in 2027 I encourage Nigerians to vote against APC massively, so that the defeat of APC will be so wide that they will be so scared to rig the election. Even INEC will be afraid to rig it for them, knowing the consequences of rigging it. And that was what Donald Trump did in America. Donald Trump told his supporters, he said, look, this election, we can't allow it to be tight, because if it is tight, it is easier for the Democrats to manipulate the election. So Elon Musk, you can see that Elon Musk was talking about go and vote, come out and vote, vote. vote, vote, vote. It is when the margin of defeat is too wide, even the manipulators will be so scared that they will be found out and there will be consequences. So that's what the Obedient Movement and all Nigerians who are tired, sick and tired of the mismanagement of the Nigerian economy and the hardship in the country. That's the direction to go. Because I keep saying it, that in 2027, if there is no unity of purpose among the opposition, and I keep saying that that opposition must be built around Peter Obi, if there is no unity of purpose, then Tinubu will have a walkover. But if there is a unity of purpose, despite the fact that Tinubu and Co are controlling the institution, they will not be able to rig the election, because when their defeat is so wide, that they are defeated even in the Aso Rock Villa, wherever they voted, whether in the Villa polling booth, whether in his Lagos homes polling booth, they are defeated so widely, they'll be so scared to rig the election. They will allow the will of the people to stand. Okay, and that can only be possible if the opposition, they are united. Because when they are not united, then they can be, the ruling party can be able to do whatever it wants to do. And it is very possible for them to do it. Look, the INEC chairman's tenure is ending 2025. So Tinubu is going to appoint another INEC chairman. And that INEC chairman must be somebody that will be very loyal to him, who is ready to do his bidding. Already, he has appointed the Chief Justice of Nigeria. And you know what that means. It means that when you, and the person is even from Lagos State. Now, you have a situation where the INEC chairman would like to do the bidding of the person that appointed him. You have a Supreme Court that will be headed by somebody that was appointed by the president, the incumbent president. So the institution, the key to institutions are in their hands. So for you to defeat the institution, even the institution themselves must perceive that the Nigerian people have spoken, and they've spoken so clearly and so eloquently that we don't want to, just as the American people did in the US. So that is what will be the game changer in 2027, as far as I can see it. And now, the Obedient Movement will be a very strategic organization in that process, because the Obedient Movement, whether we like it or not, is the biggest political pressure group this country has ever seen since 1999. And by their reorganization, what they are doing now is a reorganization for the future. They are reorganizing, and that is the best thing to do. And when they finish their reorganization and they pull off from the Labour Party, you see that Labour Party is empty. It's an empty drum that makes a lot of noise when Obedient Movement pulls out. And Nigerians will now see Labour Party for what it is. It will revert to its former self, a non-entity political party, despite all the noises that people like Abayomi, Arabambi, and all these people are making. So I think the reorganization of the Obedient Movement to make it bigger, better for the tax ahead is in order. And that, to me, is building a strategic process of pulling out of Labour Party with all its shenanigans ahead of 2027. If Labour Party was able to sustain itself, if Labour Party people are still able to go to Supreme Court and do all those and settle, and then they are ready for a leader like Peter Obi before 2027, it could be a very good, because it's already a name that had been popularized by the Obedient Movement by Peter Obi. Okay. But if not, if they are not able to sort out their problem, I think this exit strategy is the best thing that the Obedient Movement had done in recent times, since after the 2023 presidential election, in which they were rigged out by the system. Thank you for watching this video, and if you are new to my channel and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you, and please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.